Hello guys, this is Ultimate Admiral, Age of Sail. So the wind blows from certain directions and certain ships are faster when the wind blows from a particular direction. All of that is simulated. The circle around the bottom of the boat, which you can only see when you hover on it, you can see I've got a circle here with a bunch of dots. Now the dots represent the active cannons. Now if I take some damage to the side of the ship, I'm going to lose some of those cannons. That's what this means here. It also shows you the front, side and rear armour. It also says the front, side and rear armour up here, so you're getting that information twice. Sail condition is in blue, armour condition is in red, hull condition is in orange. Inflicted damage, little icons pop up depending on where your cannons hit and when. And you can see that the arc here is the area by which you aim at the enemy. Now it's completely fully automated, but you can dictate as well. So let me just try this. So you can see the wind is blowing here. We've actually got really good wind, and they're kind of a, I think they call this a broad wind. So the wind is blowing deep into the ship. So what you can see, if I try and get centralized on this, is that the ship is leaning over to the side here because the wind is hitting the sails and pushing this side down and this side up. So if we were this side of them, they wouldn't be able to shoot as far because their cannons would go into the water about here. But because they're arced over, the lift on the cannons this side gives them much greater range. Possibly not the same accuracy, but that's an entirely different conversation. So already, just in this initial tutorial, I'm really engaged. I'm really quite excited about the level of detail that they've gone to here. So let's get into this and see if we can't. It says eliminate the enemy fleet and capture the Desperados. So we've got 280 men, they've got 280 men. And we are sailing along very slowly. You can see a couple of cannons firing off there. Now, range depends on a gun's caliber and the type of ammo that's used. While sailing, range dynamically changes according to the angle between the wind and the course of the ship, which is what I've just explained to you. When the wind catches the sails, this inclines the ship and in turn affects the gun's range. So you can see the range is decreasing. So basically what I just explained to you is what they're showing in this video here. And as you turn into the wind, you'll get different range and arc of fire. Also the weapon you use, cannonball, grape shot and chain shot, all change the range available to you. That's these three options here. So yeah, okay, so attack. When an enemy is found in range and inside the attack sector, ships automatically engage. In the upper screen, icons appear with the amount and type of damage, like so. Double left click on the target to enter aim zoom mode. Left click on a specific element to be targeted, and then right click to exit the zoom. So basically, all our men will aim at the ship in range automatically, but I can double click on it and specifically say I want to put a hole here. And if you really focus your shot on one section of a ship, you're probably going to do damage quicker. Or I could aim here and try and take out one of the masts or all of the masts. Very effective with the chain shot. So like you can see here, you can aim up very high right into the rigging and really try and rip them a new hole effectively. Now, the AI, you can assign and forget a target to the AI. Select a ship, select the target, select AI control. It will pop up on the bottom here. You can't see it at the moment. And then basically, when you've got multiple ships, your ship will just target that one ship constantly. And you can kind of work just one ship if you want, or you can work all the ships. It's entirely up to you. And the AI is... well, I think I need a bit more time with the AI, but I'm not convinced it's all that effective at the moment. Bearing in mind that when you start off in the campaign, your men are not that good, so they do need a lot of training, and they're not very accurate, etc. Let's jump in here and see if we can't do some damage. So I am going to try, if the game lets me, select the ship, select here, and I'm going to try and take out their front mast. Now, in order to sail, again, this is pretty good. If I pause that a second, you can use the left mouse held down to draw a route. So you can say, oh, I want my ship to go around in circles until it gets shot and sunk into the floor. You can right-click to just give single moves. What you can't do, unfortunately, is chain moves. So I might say I want to go there and then I want to go there. But then I suppose you could do this. So that is technically the same option, but then I can only draw it so far. I wish I could chain moves, that's all. So yeah, you've got that, and that. When you've got a ship selected, you can if you double click, it will sail to there and then drop the anchor, which will drop all the sails and it will stop there. And when you start moving again, it will anchor off and just continue sailing in that direction. In fact, if I put the direction there and then leave it for an hour, it will just continue sailing in that direction until it reaches the edge of the campaign map, which are reasonably large, pretty large actually. Okay, is there anything else I need to mention there? No, that's it. Speed. You can adjust the ship's speed here by adjusting the sails. You can also click on this, which will match speed. I've not had much success with this, but if I want to pull up alongside this ship and just hit them with cannons, if we think we've got the extra cannons, I think we've got a few more cannons than they do. So we could just pull up alongside them and just smash them to bits and try and take their cannons out of action. That is definitely a technique that's available to us. And that's what this would do. It would keep you paced, or it's supposed to keep you paced with your enemy ship, with your targeted ship. I'm like 50-50 whether that works or not. But you can do it manually, and that seems to work pretty darn well. So it's a little bit more involved to do it manually, but it does seem to work. Obviously, you've got the anchor button here. So you could just click anchor and say, I want to anchor there, or anchor now, which is the space bar. This here is to board the enemy ship. So there are three things you need to do. You need to be on the same or similar trajectory that they are. You need to be traveling at the same speed that they are, and you need to be close enough to them to be able to throw ropes from your ship to anchor onto their ship. So you click that and it will try and do that. Now what you can do is click that, then click AI, and the AI will try and get into position and do that. Even from here, it will try and work a way to get alongside this ship and then take it. But I need more time with the AI to really understand whether they're good or not. Here we've got manual aim, which is what I was doing a minute ago. That's double click with the mouse, right click to come out of zoom, or you can press this. It's entirely up to you. You can also say don't fire either left or right. Now I mean they work, but they don't work particularly well. What I would like to see is the ability to select the shot type for each side. That, I think, would be a great addition. If you just took these three buttons and put them here, put them in between here, and then put another three that side, then you could pick, because you might go in between two enemy ships. One you want to hit with a grape shot, one you want to hit with cannonball. At the moment, you can't do that. You can only pick one or the other. And also, if I'm just about to fire, I can say, well, actually, I'm going to swap to grape shot. And there doesn't appear, I could be wrong on this point, there doesn't appear to be any time delay. So it's not like, oh God, we've got to now change the weapon. But it may be that they fire the cannonballs and then swap to grape shot for the next shot. It may be that that's happening. Okay, so the wind, as I mentioned before, the wind direction is this arrow here. So relative to where you're looking rather than your ship. So if I have that ship selected and turn this way, then it doesn't really do anything. So what you would do is you would say, what you can't do is sail directly into the wind. Okay, so I cannot sail that way because we won't move. In fact, we're probably right on the limit of what we can sail. We're probably about 25 degrees there, 30 degrees, which is pretty much the absolute basic minimum. And you can see down here, we're doing a speed of 8.3. I think this ship is capable of like 11, maybe 12 knots. So if we just turned slightly more to the starboard side, we would get that. Every ship has a perfect winged angle. And for this ship, I think it would be about there. So if I were to turn the ship in slightly, you'd see the speed jump up. Here you go. So you've got the front of the ship downwind. That's this way. Upwind is no-go. See, look. I would like to be able to pause this so that I can look at it and understand it. So you've got broad reach. Now, it says here, close reach, slow speed, right? That's the wind coming in the arse end of the ship here, like this, from either of these two angles. Now, for this ship, yeah, it's not great for speed. But there are other ships where that will give them like 12, 13, even 14 knots of speed. So it's very dependent on the ship that you're sailing as to which wind direction works for you. And when you've got different ships in your fleet, you can really use that to your advantage, because you will hit and run, and then you'll have another ship which is like twice as fast in that direction, and then they can catch up, and then they can start hammering, and then you can sort of turn around and start again. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. You can also group ships together, but I'm not sure why that's mentioned in this particular tutorial, because as you can see, I've only got one ship. It's a very good ship, but yeah, just the one ship. Okay, right. I think that's everything we need to know there. So I'm going to come down this way. We're in super slow-mo at the moment, which is kind of cool. Now you can see the guns are opening up. I love watching the men on the ship there. Have we just gone dead into the wind? We have. We shouldn't be dead to the wind there. Okay. Right, the sails are coming down. We're starting to move. We should get a firing arc very soon. Oh, actually, we are getting the wind from the tail end, so we're not going to be super fast down here. We're doing 10.5 knots, which is good. We should be able to get a volley off here. That is in range. I'm not sure why we're not opening up the cannons right now. Now, if I slow down a bit, you should see that our range increases. Now I can get the shots off. And they're very accurate. Look at that. Absolutely tanked him right on the nose. Okay, sails fully open. So what I really want is to be going that way. That direction is where we're fastest. See, now he's trying to get a turn on me, and he's got a good turn on me actually. We're in a bit of a sticky situation here. I'm going to make a hard turn into him. Now, by turning, by rights, the ship should lean over somewhat. Let's take that angle, which is dead into the wind. And now we're going to try and come full onto him. Now, you do have collisions in this game, so you do need to be aware of that. And also, the sides of your ship are considerably thicker than the front of your ship. Now, this is where we'll be at our fastest. Watch our speed come up. And we should, again, if we slow down a second, we should get that range. Hopefully get a volley on him before he disappears out of our range. It's not bad. Now we've got the tail end of his ship available to us. I'm going to try and hit that real hard. But unfortunately, we're not going to get it. Oh no, again, we've got that wind there. Right, this is where we want to go. We want to go this way. They got a decent volley on us there, I'll be honest. At the moment, they're doing the better job. I'm spending too much time talking, not enough time thinking. So, this is where we're fastest, when we got the wind coming off of our front side like so. At least we're supposed to be, but we're only doing 4 knots, which is not ideal. You can see the morale and condition of the boat dropping consistently. That is not ideal. So I guess the information that they gave me on that tutorial pamphlet for the speed was inaccurate, because we are now heading into the wind and very slow. So let's make a hard turn here. You can see our range increases. If I slow the boat down, we might even reach them here. No, not going to happen. Okay. Try and get some pace up then. You see we've lost a cannon on this side. We've taken quite a bit of damage. This side we're actually fine. And they're trying to put a volley into our sails there. You can see a couple of holes appearing. Okay, let's sail on. I'm going to get my eyes on him. I'm going to aim. Actually, I'm going to aim for his centre here. And we're going to go for the chain shot. Oh, that's why we're not doing damage, because it was selected on grape shot, which is great for taking men out. You can see they've got 9 less men than us right now. Now, he's pretty much sat in the water. He's barely moving, and we're actually tanking at 10.7 knots. It might not seem very fast. Now, this is one thing that needs to be said, I guess, is that this is very realistic, and this is the kind of pace that ships actually travel at. So it's not super fast action-packed all the time, and if that's not the kind of game you're interested in, then you should probably consider something else. Now, we took a big chunk of mast out of him there, and I'm going to slow right down because we are right in his face. So he can't do much to us unless he turns, which is what he's trying to do. And he's got a full head of speed there, so I need to get myself out of the way a little bit, because collisions are a thing. I'm doing a great job of making his life difficult. He's trying to do exactly the same thing to us. So I'm going to go back to grape shot. And I'm going to try and put this right across the middle. I'm going to aim at that circle there. See, now he's into the good wind like us now. So he's just unloaded a volley of cannons into our side, but we've taken the action of hitting his men. So we've reduced him to 252 men right now. And this is some real close battle action going on. Now, we could theoretically go in there and start attempting to take him out. Try and board him. We do have superior numbers. Now, this auto-aim thing can be a bit tricky at times. Let's try and put it there. There's a lot of men there. And you can see our ship is taking a lot of damage. But we've got the faster wind. And we are knocking 10 bales out of their crew. Look at this. Down to 30. We have a considerable advantage over their numbers now. They're not going to be enjoying this a lot. Both of our ships are pretty tough. So the onslaught that they're laying on me, we can deal with for a little while. And he can't just cut into me, because we'll collide and that'll damage them as much as us. Perhaps even more. It seems he's actually got a little bit faster a ship than we do. They're down to 220 men, and we're doing a very good job of splicing their crew apart. See if I can get a good view of the cannons going off. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We're close enough now that the crew, the Marines on the boat, are actually firing their rifles as well. So that's taking even more men. That's damaging even more of their men. But we are taking considerable damage now. You can see that side of our hull is really... Well, that side of the ship has really been tampered with. We have 71 more men than them. I'm going to keep pounding them. 2, 4, 5 men just died. Well, or incapacitated. So we're matching their speed, but we're not getting past them, which is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to try turning in a little bit and see if we can't get a bit more speed here. Because if we're going to board them, we kind of need to be up with them. Now you see he's trying to cut me off. See how he's trying to cut me off? One of us has got to chicken out, and it's going to be me on this occasion. So they're like, we've got like 100 men more than them, so now I think is a good time to go for it. See, we've got 1 rope on them, 2 ropes on them, but they just pulled away before we could haul them in. They now know what our intentions are. They're well aware that we're going to try and take them out. So their arse end is open to us. Let's try and take advantage of that. If I can. Get some cannon shots right on their rudder. It's a weak point of their ship. 24 damage, 12 damage. There's some good damage there, definitely. So I'm going to turn in. I'm going to switch to the... switch to the chain shot and try and do something to their rigging. Same for the middle one. That way if we kind of miss a bit, still got a good chance of doing some damage to something. So they have done significant damage to the side of our ship. There's no denying that. I really need to take some of their sails out, maybe one of their masts out, so that I can get that extra speed that I need to dominate and control this situation. We've already got the men advantage. We have got a weakened side. I mean, ideally, I'd like to get in on his other side. But that isn't really going to be an option, and you can see he's turning in. He's gonna have a volley at us. The fight is still very much on. We're desperately trying to take out his rigging and his masts, so we can actually turn really hard here. And give him a full broadside. Again, trying to go for the arse end of his ship. Now he's turning in, and that's actually really good for us, because we don't want this side of our ship exposed to him at all. Not from this point on, at least. See if we can't get some damage on him here. Whilst we've got him in our sights, and he's almost dead in the water. In irons they call it, or in chains, I always forget what it's called. Same difference. Gonna be this side now. Try and get it down there, down by the water line. Fire away, chaps. Didn't actually get too much damage out of him there. Let's try again for his mast. Let's go for the top centre of his mast. We'll get one volley in, and then we'll make a hard turn. We're going to try and come around his outer side. Not an easy move. So we're not really doing much damage to him. He's kind of coming down Right, do you know what? If he turns inside of us, that will work just as well. Doing some good damage to his sails right now. This is a good position for us. Trying to turn again to get a decent broadside. 5 damage that time. Slow the ship down. Try and get that extra range. Come on, lads. Fire away. Fire away. That was a good hit. That was a nice strong volley, that one. Right, now if we turn this way, we should have the speed advantage. Oops. Accidental click. I'm not going to get the range on this turn. We're going to have to change through the wind in an attempt. Now we should get a couple of decent volleys here on him. It's going to be difficult to get alongside him again, but I am going to try. Just don't want to expose our weak side if I can help it. But we should definitely get some shots on the on his sails here. Come on. Come on, boys. Fire away. Always a good idea not to turn whilst he's moving, whilst you're firing rather. Now you can see he's almost dead in the water. He's barely moving at all. And we're going to end up in that state very soon. He's trying to turn. He's trying his hardest to turn. We're going to go grape shot. Hopefully do a lovely final flurry. Reduce their numbers. Oh, I forgot to reduce. Forgot to lower my aim. So we've got more than 100 men over them now. Going to come in with a second volley. Come on, men. Get that shot in. He's desperate to stay away from us. Fire! Yeah, he's out of the line of fire now, which is frustrating. We're turning a little quicker than he is. This is where we'll be dead right now. This is the scary moment. Who's going to win out? Is he going to buckle our side before we can destroy their crew? That's the big question. Oh, I did a lot of damage to him there. Definitely felt that. Let's have another go at that mast. In fact, let's have a go at the front mast. That way if we miss, I think we'll still get him. Doing a good job of turning us, I've got to say. That's a nice volley. Really wish we could reload a little quicker. It's a racing game now. See, he's caught. He's caught now. It's done so much damage to our ship. We've barely touched theirs. Their sails we've given a good whacking to, but not the ship. I'm starting to get a bit nervous. Really need to carry this speed and get up alongside him if I can. Maybe even to the point where we bring our weak side round. That may have to be the way. Keep forgetting to drop my grape shot. Maybe we can do this. We're within range. But he's going to have the wind in his sails quicker than we are. It's going to be tight, this one. Really tight. Morale's all the way down, look. Don't know what their morale's like, but most of their cannons are fine. They've taken out 3 of our cannons. I think we may have to bow out of this one. Couldn't outturn him. Okay, boys, light them up. Light them up quickly, please. Now, if this really is too slow for you, you can speed up time, which will obviously make a difference. So I desperately need to get out of this situation now. Our middle mast has taken an absolute pounding. I I don't know what to do, actually. I'm in a position now where we're struggling to be dominant. No, you would have felt that. Now, we've got a good turn of speed here. This could be our opportunity. This could be it. Going to be a bit of a collision. Damn! Turned in just a little bit too early. Ah, they regarded that as a defeat. Why? Okay, cool. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye for now.